Good evening once again, Trinidad and Tobago. I am here. I am here because, my friends, a lot of my friends have been calling me, asking me what is my views on this dragon deal that appears and seems to be back on the scene, where our government, present government, led by Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, would have gone to the United Nations, and we would have seen her traveling on a train heading to Washington, where she met with a man called Rubio, who then, after the meeting, said that she had good news, my friends. And the good news is that the dragon deal is no longer dead. It has been resurrected, my friends. Mr. President, the dragon deal has been resurrected from the dead. You know what I'm telling all you? In case you don't know what that is, it's a book called the Bible, where dead men came back to life. Well, similarly, the dragon deal has been resurrected by Kamla Persad-Bissessar and a man named Rubio in America, Secretary of State. My friends, so I'm going to share with you all, my friends, my view, on this matter. When I saw it, I asked myself, what sin we have committed? What sin, my friends, that we, the people of Trinidad, have committed for all of this thing to happen to be one time like that? You know what I'm telling all you? I want to know, what sin we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, would have committed, or our ancestors maybe. Because, my friends, Kamla Persad-Bissessar, while in opposition, she was declaring that a man named Juan Guaido, they were recognizing as the president of Venezuela, And this man they call Nicolas Maduro is an imposter, a drug trafficker, a rogue. That was what they were teaching and sharing with the people of Trinidad and Tobago, especially those devoted followers that they have, my friends. They went so far as to call on America to pass sanctions on our government, trying to get that deal so that our country, including them and their supporters, who are also citizens, will benefit, my friends. And they launched a campaign for years, my friends, saying all kind of nasty things about that Venezuelan president, my friends. Yeah. And here it is. Here it is. After America brought some ships and even submarine and these warplane equipped with all kind of missiles, after blowing up a few pirogue, my friends, 2 or 3 pirogue, our Prime Minister has returned from the United Nations making the claim that they are looking to go and negotiate with, I don't know if it's Nicolas Maduro or if it's Guaido. I don't know. They need to. I think the reporters and them, our reporters, my friends, and the people of Trinidad and Tobago, before any negotiations or any talk at all about that dragon deal, Kamla Persad-Bissessar and a man called Rudal Munilal and their team, their cabinet team and their government must first declare to the world and to the people of Trinidad and Tobago that they have recognized and they are recognizing that this man they call Maduro is the legal government chosen by the people, and they have recognized Maduro and his government as in fact the president of Venezuela, my friends. before any talk about license, about discussions, before any talk could start, it must start right there with an apology, my friends. Listen, it just one apology. One. That is all. You cannot start in our newspapers explaining to reporters that you are putting things in place to go and negotiate with an illegitimate government. One that is in fact is a narcotic trafficker. One where you were willing to get rid of joining America, even with a 50 million US ransom on his head. Like the man only talking about what? Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago. Hold up. Listen. This man they call Maduro. The American government placed a 50 million US ransom for his citizens, anybody, even outsiders, if they could go there to kill him, so that they could get this ransom, man. This ransom. First, this man dangerous, and how important it is to stop the drug trade. That this president, this rogue man running Venezuela, that they need to get rid of him. So bad, real bad. But they give our prime minister, my friend, listen to this, our prime minister, who would have joined America, saying all these things about that government in Venezuela, even while they were in opposition, my friends. Now they are telling Kams Kompany Cyar, listen, go and negotiate for the Dragon deal. How the Dragon deal come to be a good thing now to start with? How that come good? How it come okay that the government at present in Trinidad and Tobago feeling comfortable that they could declare in the newspapers and on the news that they're going. We're going to start. We going where? Where, my friends? Where? Where are they going? Where are you all going? The government of Trinidad and Tobago, my friends, the present government, would have damaged centuries of good relationship, my friends, that we would have had and continue to have up to until they came into office, my friends, with our neighbors, the Venezuelans, my friends. They have damaged it to the point where a Venezuelan minister had to declare that we in Trinidad, like we dotish, we went and vote for a drunk woman, she's drunk. That's what he said. Like, guys, listen to me. That's the kind of diplomatic discussion that was taking place between us and Venezuela, you know. My friend, let me share this with you. After what confusing America and their ally, meaning Kams Kompany Cyar and her government, what have them confused is how we could put $50 million ransom on this rogue man, and up to now nobody don't want to kill him. Nobody, none of the people, nobody are trying to kill him, man. So what do do? What do do? Because that is what it is. That is what it is. So we need to get rid of him. And our prime minister, my friends, was willing that America could use whatever they have and get rid of him. Because by me saying, I love America and come here and wherever, we would now be able to get the very gas from the Dragon deal via America. So we were willing, the people in our government, my friends, were willing to join with America to forcefully take away what does not belong to them or us. And we must participate in it, you know. So they were willing to thief. Yeah, Because if you use force to take away from the people of Venezuela what belongs to them, my friends, their natural resources that they were willing to share with us as neighbors and comrades and people living next door to each other. They were willing to share with us without anybody trying to kill anybody. They said, no, it must not be like that. But they are willing that America should bomb these people, take away their gas field and the oil field, kill whoever that they kill, who dead, who scatter. And we know, because we would have accommodated them and the wickedness and the evil, we would then benefit from things that is not ours, my friends. You hear what I'm telling you? I am asking this government to leave these Venezuelan people alone. You all have embarrassed us enough. You see this Saudi Arabia and United Emirates and Bahrain that Oli was speaking about, and Oli bring back good news. Good news. Other than the oil world, you know, Munilal and whoever it is, you know, and bring back good news. What dragon deal are they talking about? No, imagine, let me tell you something, my friends. Imagine America is viewed as the enemy of every Venezuelan. America and Donald Trump at this present time, my friends, is viewed as the enemy of every Venezuelan. Yeah. And about 30 million of them home, and about 5 million or 6 or 7 million scattered throughout the Amazon here, including Trinidad and Tobago, a few. Yeah. And they're also viewing us, my friends, Trinidad and Tobago, not as one who would look out for them and would have looked out for them and be looking out for each other over the years and centuries, but one who is now an enemy of the people of Venezuela. For one, calling the president that they voted for, that the United Nations recognized as the president of Venezuela, people, our Kamla Prasad Bisesa, and these dunce and them we have here, view them and view Maduro as he's not no president. Is Juan Guaido the president? Yeah. Who no Venezuelan voted for, my friends. And at no time, rather than stay silent and remain friends with both sides, as the rest of CARICOM, silent meaning saying the right thing. There is no need for this. Let us take another route. Let us try. So when the thing happen, whatever happened, you are not enemies with either Venezuela, and you are not enemies with America. It wasn't like that. And when the rest of CARICOM, to ask her she said, no, we will stand alone. Is we alone? We alone now. We alone now. Let me tell you something. You may shock to know the relationship that CARICOM have with Venezuela and Maduro, that if we as Trinidad and Tobago was getting problems to get that dragon deal, my friends, the type of relationship CARICOM have, we could have taken to CARICOM to say something on our behalf to the Venezuelan and to Maduro. And let me tell you something, that relationship is centuries of relationship, my friends, with CARICOM and the Venezuelan people. At no time we were ever enemies, my friends, or looking to kill anybody or join with anybody to kill any of them, except these nasty-minded people that's in government now, my friends. And now them telling me that them going back by them same people and do what? My friends, they are not in a position to negotiate anything. They are not in a position to negotiate anything. And then here what America tell them, go and negotiate and see if they could get it, but make sure that when all they get it, Venezuela doesn't benefit from the own thing. My friend, you going on that mission? Imagine that. America tell them, listen, no, they didn't get them no license, no. You feel they know Kamla Prasad Bisasa was coming Washington, they knew that. So they could have had the license and everything, the terms and conditions, and on her way out, so, well, Miss Lady, this is what we for your support and wherever, this is what we're giving you. She left there. They floated an idea, and she told Totish, rather than say, listen, I will wait for how soon all the signing and thing, how soon I'll get any license. Because you need to go and say, look, I have a license. Can we negotiate? Can we talk? Can we talk? What do you want to talk about? All she hear, what she want to hear, and saying is good news. My friends, good news? I want to know every UNC supporter. There's a question, including my partners and them who will be telling them all kind of thing here. Take yourself and put yourselves in the shoes of the Venezuelans, where the enemy want to kill all the prime minister or president, openly declaring it, the enemy. And Trinidad and Tobago cannot pretend, we cannot pretend that at present, my friends, if it's two enemies that Venezuelans and Venezuela have in their record is Trinidad and Tobago and America. Two enemies. Two at this present time. We are the enemies of these people. It's kill, we want to kill them, you know. We join with America. When the rest of CARICOM saying, hey, this is not the zone for this. This is not the zone. This is a peaceful zone. She said, what? Peaceful zone? It's fire with fire. But a man, I go question, but why do she that? My friends, let me tell you something. Why America is treating our prime minister like that? Why America? Why they doing she that? Knowing fully well she's a full-fledged enemy of Maduro and Venezuela. Why the cell she go and talk? Why what make them do that, my friends? Anybody can answer that question? Well, I will show you my side of the thing. Why I think I'm right, I might be right, you know. Because a man called Abu Bakr, you remember that man? Abu Bakr said, an opinion is like a nose. Everybody are one. So this is just my opinion here. Remember Abu Bakr? 1990 Kuman? Good. Well, let me share this with you. Kamla Persad-Bissessar Ca and her government, my friends, are viewed as the enemy of the Venezuelan and the government there. What America would have recognized that not even 50 million US could divide the people in Venezuela to try to get rid of this man they call Maduro. Listen good. So the people, the children, the mothers, they're ready to die and fight and die for the country because they know it is an injustice. And they know that the hardship that they are facing for years is because of the very America putting sanctions on them without just cause. They know that. They teach that in the schools. But you know what would make them want to kill Maduro? You know what will make the Venezuelans turn on Maduro and want to kill him? If at all, my friends, he decide to give Kamla Persad-Bissessar Ca and this UNC government any part of that dragon deal, my friends, what is going to happen in Venezuela? The unity that we see in there, they will be so angry. He might come, in fact, Maduro might feel safer going to America. He might voluntarily go to America because what I'm telling you, my friends, the unity that they have there, now you're telling me we're ready to die. We're ready to die because of Kamla Persad-Bissessar Ca and Donald Trump combined. We were ready to die and fight against anyone where that is concerned. Now you coming and telling me about forget, and forget. So my friends, that will cause division. That will cause division among the people in Venezuela. If at all Maduro decide to go and give Trinidad and Tobago via Kamla Persad Bissessar-led government that deal, on top of that, my people, Venezuela, who own the resources, listen, this dragon deal Trinidad nothing to do with that, you know. It's a favor them people doing we, you know. Because of the relationship that we would have had over the years with these people, you know. A relationship that we enjoy and benefit from, and the rest of CARICOM benefited from long before Maduro, you know, my friends. But the traitors, my friends, that is what they are. They are traitors driven by greed and self-interest. Yeah. Because a few years ago, that dragon deal was not good for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. It was not good. How it come good now? How it come good? I thought it's in the headlines we talking about Saudi Arabia, you know, my friends. It's Saudi Arabia and Bahrain and in the Middle East, and that's the big talk. How we come back next door? How we reach back there? Tell me. So we will switch the thing. Imagine Barbados, listen good, declare one we. They want to kill all of we. They want all of we dead, including the Prime Minister. And for some reason, they end up in all kind of trouble, and they come back like we to beg we for things that we have so that them could survive. What we doing? What we doing, my friends? What they did to Kamla Persad Bissessar is not just to embarrass us as a people. Not just that. But she is so, not she, but it's all of them. Backward, my friends. The person who wrote Kamla Persad Bissessar's speech to the UN should be put in jail. I'm telling you, you're starting to put him in jail first. You want to know what crime he commit. You put him in jail for dunceness. You put him in jail for? You're bringing a charge of dunceness for the person who write that. Saturday's Guardian, Saturday the 27th of September. You could check the Guardian. It have the United Nations speech that Kamla would have delivered at the UN. And you would see what I'm speaking about. After you read that speech, my friends, I want you to point out to me one place in that speech where Donald Trump was being praised. You hear me, my friends? I am asking anybody in Trinidad and Tobago, that UN speech, all you have to do is identify one line, and instead of nonsense you went and talk, one line that praise Donald Trump for the action that he has taken in the Caribbean here. In her speech, my friends, it means the people that they're dealing with, they have not made a study of them. They would have come out. They don't even understand Donald Trump. They know nothing about him, and they are fools. Listen, all I am asking to identify, my friends, let me tell you something. You could be the devil, kill whoever you want to kill. You're in jail. Just say nice thing about Donald Trump. You know you're coming out from jail? He writing a pardon for you one time. Listen, our listener is good. He making sure he don't even know you. He hear a man talking good about him somewhere, wherever, the man in some trouble, wherever, hey, panda man. All she had to do is go to the UN, my friends, and speak about Donald Trump and the good work that he's doing and how she is happy to have him. And Donald Trump and Donald Trump and Donald Trump, my friends. She'd have come back here at least with the license because they have it waiting for she in Washington. Check. When she did not do that, when she did not praise Donald Trump in that speech, that is in, I don't know if that others missing, a part of the speech missing, but I am going by what the Guardian say. What I read in the Guardian, my friends. Donald Trump is mentioned once in the speech, my friends, and he's mentioned as one, and his name is mentioned, not he, his name is mentioned because of a statement he would have made, and they were quoting Donald Trump. And Donald Trump said, these are the things that they were looking at. How she view him, what nice things she going to say about him. On what better stage, my friends? In front of the world, the whole world. That's where he want to talk. And that is where he want to hear people speaking good things about him. Especially when he's convinced in his mind that he is the man and it's another man. Let me tell you what she went and said. Listen to this. Prasad Bisesa said, criminals do not adhere to ethics and morality. Therefore, hear this here, my friends, listen to this here. Since criminals don't adhere to morality and ethics, therefore, we will fight fire within the law. Who is the we? Who we? Fighting what? So the American want to know. You see why I'm asking you here? They're asking Donald Trump, who is the we she talking about? Rubio, who we? Who she fight? Who she was fighting? She went on the world stage, my friends, and tried to take away the glory that Donald Trump was supposed to be getting and keep it to herself. My friends, she's saying we fighting fire with fire at the United Nations, my friends. When everybody know we don't have a good working boat here. We don't have a sling and shot. Because she want to look and sound important, my friends. But you see, when you're accustomed hiding somewhere down in wherever south and talking nonsense on a Monday night, it's very difficult for you to leave a forum where you need dotish talk and stupid talk and appear in a forum where you have to talk things with sense, you know. It's very difficult, my friends. If you're accustomed talking stupidness and dotish talk and dunce talk, you can just wake up a morning and just have to talk things with sense, you know. Listen to me good, my friends. Kamla Prasad Bisesa at the United Nations addressing the world after the world is watching Donald Trump campaigning down here with all kind of big ship and only 3 or 4 pirogue. They don't blow up already and like they can't get no more. You now the opportunity to say and how good and how happy and Donald Trump and President Trump and you gonna take away the man glory from him. Take away America glory. That is, and it's fame. So it's 2 people fighting for fame, my friends. Donald Trump doesn't have some, and he wants all. But here it is, he had to share this big campaign in the Caribbean with Kamla Prasad Bisesa. Because it's not Donald Trump, but it's we. My friend, let me read that again. I'm gonna read that. They're going back, they're going by Maduro. That's where they're going. They're going by Maduro. Let me read this here. This is the Guardian. I don't know who will be putting something in the Guardian, the papers, and I don't know. Saturday's September the 27th, 2025. Fight, the caption, fight fire with fire. So I come down at the close to this, down here in the end, a kind of way. Here's what it says. Kamla Prasad Bisesa said, criminals do not adhere to ethics and morality. Therefore, we will fight fire with fire. You know what's supposed to come there? Therefore, we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, want to thank President Donald Trump and build on that, my friends. Who's the we they're talking about here? What she did? She tied herself. Yeah. We is not one person, no. Who is the we? We include me and whoever else is we. It's me and Trump. My friends. Sick people. Sick. What was our contribution in this fire with fire thing here? What was our contribution? Except talking nonsense and stupid talk and dunce talk. So here what happened now? Here the punishment. The punishment for the dunceness and for trying to steal Donald Trump fame and plagiarize the work that he have done, involving now all of a sudden it's not Donald Trump, President Trump, but it's we. It's all right. Go by Maduro, who we says a narcotic government, yeah, illegitimate government, yeah, rogue, yeah, not even he's not even the president. We call, yeah, go by he and negotiate for the dragon deal. Trinidad and Tobago, what I'm sharing here with you, this again, my friends, is a distraction. You see, this even this dragon deal thing that all of a sudden, my friend, that's a distraction. A distraction from the reality of our day-to-day existence since the UNC came into office, my friends, about 5 months ago. It is another distraction, my friends, where not just Trinidad and Tobago, my friends, have been downgraded by Standard & Poor's, but now I am hearing that Republic Bank and the government bank, First Citizen, has also been downgraded. Now, my friends, now, in case we're not understanding what is happening and what we're dealing with, just in case, when Dr. Rowley and the PNM came into office, the people of Trinidad and Tobago rejected Kamla Prasad Bisesa and her 14% that she offered. They reject that and all, trying to deceive the people of Trinidad and Tobago, including public servants, with her 14%. In 2015, she was rejected with the 14%, my friends. When that happened, when Dr. Rowley and the PNM came into office, my friends, they walked into office, right, voted in. The governor of the central bank declared we were in a recession, my friends. I don't know if you know what that is, you know. A recession. On top of that, he met no money, in case we wondering. And here this year, had to go and borrow quickly, enough money to pay and settle public servants the debt at the 14% that they signed off and couldn't pay because they had no money. We was in a recession. They had to pay it in 2 tranches. Remember that? You get one back pay and then you go right, a next back pay. That's how much money it was at the time. And that's how the best that they could have done. But we did get it. It wasn't all one. No recession, my friends. And while in a recession, the world pandemic came on the scene, including affected us the same way as everybody else and the rest of the world, where people were dying all about the place. In fact, I see where we recently, the Privy Council ruled that the government was harsh and oppressive by not opening the borders at certain time for people to come, however. It was a measure that was taken all around the world. Government did that. Not just here. I had family who came from England in Trinidad, and they closed the border. They couldn't go England. They couldn't leave Trinidad. So it's not just here. But anyhow, so here it is, a pandemic where nobody knew how to really treat it. But that measure they thought at the time was that we were working with. So it had a pandemic. Good. And we have not yet come out of in fact, we have in June, my friends, of 2024. Listen to this. In June of 2024, the IMF reported to us their findings. And you know what was their findings? That Trinidad and Tobago, for the first time, yes, under the leadership of Dr. Rowley and the PNM, were witnessing growth, and the projection was steady growth, my friends. Stabilization, it gone past that growth we're talking about. That was their projection. Yeah. And in that same newspaper, the man who is now the finance minister, a man called Dave Tanku, in that same newspaper, was making a request for the IMF, my friends, because they're very patriotic, you know. They are real patriotic. They are patriots. But he and the opposition, because he is representing the opposition, he's the finance minister now, calling for the IMF to come back here and change their findings, my friends. Change their findings. Because he can't understand how they could give Trinidad and Tobago under Dr. Rowley and the PNM not just a passing grade, but for the first time in 10 years, the projection of growth, yeah, and our economic stability, my friends, was in good standing. You want to tell you? I had the paper somewhere in a car there, you know. I would have shown that on many occasions. My friends, they came into office promising that we will find the money. We will find the money, my friends. And we don't need the Dragon deal because it's dead. And on top of that, the reason why they know it was dead, because they knew, not that the Dragon deal, as though the oil and the gas that they have in Venezuela home by them gone away, you know. They knew that the damage that they would have done to Trinidad and Tobago and the relationship that we had with Trinidad and Tobago, Venezuela, and CARICOM, they knew the evil that they would have done, yeah, to those people in Venezuela, including their president. So they knew they cannot afford, in fact, they have no good standing to approach Venezuela for any assistance, my friend. So when they say it was dead, it's not as though the Dragon deal gone away, you know. What they mean is that we have damaged our own self, so we cannot approach them. So because America tell them to go and see, that means they could go. Go. You didn't see them embarrassing us? Imagine that the number one enemy sending the second, the supporting cast, because it's Trinidad and Tobago leadership, prime minister, supporting invasion and even killing Maduro, you know. In fact, she went and contradicted all our CARICOM partners and friends and family, because I waited, you know, in the Caribbean here at the United Nations, so that she could stand out and look bright. But in doing so, my friends, and the Americans looking and watching for when the praise was going to start for the action that Donald Trump would have taken to bring all that assets, American warships, nuclear submarine, helicopter flying all over the place, missiles flying. And at the United Nations, nobody praised him, not even the one who claimed that but rather go on there without a sling and shot and saying we will fight fire with fire. So the Americans and them, they didn't pick up that. My friends, they know what are you talking about here. Donald Trump and so you know mad Donald Trump is right now? You know vex he is? Because the only person who he could have found to support him in that kind of action came on the world stage and tried to take the fame from he and say we. So they want to know what we she talking about. Who's the we? What she do? Yeah, it's all right. Go down by Maduro and ask him for the dragon deal. Go down there. Yeah. Knowing fully well that you is enemy number 2. America is enemy number 1. Trinidad and Tobago is enemy number 2. My friends, no dragon deal. It have no dragon deal for Trinidad and Tobago so long as Kamala Persad Bissessa is the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. You know what I'm telling you? There is no dragon deal, my friends. None. None. The things that she would have said about this man they call Maduro, even in the first term of Donald Trump, my friends. Yeah. That the Venezuelans, you know why they treated us like how they treated us to give us the gas, their own gas? They was giving us their gas, you know. Like their resources, you know. They decided to give us. You know why? They were looking out for us as they normally do to CARICOM. Yeah. And it's because of America, certain deals that they would have had with CARICOM and CARICOM members had to stop. Yeah. Yeah. And they will not. Let me tell you something, my friends. The Venezuelans, including Maduro, will not forget. Listen to me. Hundreds of years, my friends. You see the intervention that CARICOM made to prevent war and invasion by both America and Europe, where they had decided this, they can't take it no more, we're gonna get rid of him. And the Venezuelan people and Maduro left alone, except, my friends, except for CARICOM, my friends. And a few of the Latin American countries join. Yes. Yeah. You think they've forgotten that? And which government was instrumental when that take place, my friends? The only how the dragon deal will come back on the table, my friends, is if and when ever the PNM come back in office. You know what I'm telling all you? Or they could jump, skip, or they better go back, go Saudi Arabia, you know. Go and bring whatever, or they feel, because they will. Kamala Persad Bissessa, when she was being sworn in as Prime Minister, came with a big speech, a big prepared speech, you know. Well researched by the Prime Minister in waiting for 10 years. Yeah. And she decided to give some answers as to how and where our economy will be heading, you know. And you know where our economy was heading, my friends? Especially the energy sector? Guyana and Grenada. Them people in Grenada said a cuss one time. My cousin and them called me, you know. They want to know what is happening in Trinidad here, you know. The Grenadian Prime Minister to go and announce to the people and make a speech and let them know he and all don't know what is happening, you know. Well, the Guyanese and distance themselves, they say, look, they want to know what is she drinking in Port of Spain. Yeah. And on realizing that them don't know nothing about what she's speaking about, she said, well, all right, we'll go Suriname. Suriname, just so any stupidness and dotish talk come in she head, she just repeating it. My friends, what the people of Trinidad and Tobago would have moved away from, my friends, is steady growth and stability. Tighten the belt, but growth is projected and stability, my friends. And the Dragon deal, the Dragon gas deal, was on its way to further ease the burden and to diversify. Greed, my friends, greed. Yeah. I told public servants, I said, listen, you all think that Felicia Thomas and Leroy Batiste smarter than them teachers and them? Even if you feel they're smarter than the soldiers and the police, you believe they're smarter than the teachers? Because you got to get rich. You get rich? Well, before, my friends, before our budget could read, 2 months into governance, all these workers, over 45,000 workers at this present time, my friends, and what I've been told just last night, there are other ministries, my friends, where contract workers, their contract will not be renewed, especially going into this new fiscal year. Hundreds, I don't want to say thousands, also will be on the breadline. But no, my friends, it had no recession, it had no pandemic, but all you know what we have? We have no recession, no pandemic. So then what is Preston? I will tell all you what it is. It's a plague. That's what they are. The UNC is a plague on the land, my friends. That's what they are. They are a plague. In case all you don't know what a plague is, Easter time, go on with the 10 Commandments. What a plague does to the land, my friends. That is what they are. How? How in 3 months, 4 months, in 2 months into office, where a government was managing through a recession, through a pandemic, my friends. In the pandemic, our oil prices, the thing that stabilized us and maintain our standard of living, it reached $10 a barrel, $5 a barrel, my friends. Check 2022, 2021, 2022. Check and see. If there's no trade, and we don't have much trading already because the commodity dropped their volume and whatever, check and see. So what I'm telling you here, Saudi Arabia, when them coming? Because let me tell you something. Confidence. From the time they came in office, which is the 2 banks that they started mentioning the mouth, and they had problems with, as all of a sudden they have problems with people in Republic Bank and threatening Republic Bank and First Citizens Bank. And where there was stability, my friends, where there was stability, they brought instability. You know why? Incompetence and dunceness. So, can anybody explain to me if they could remember what year one of the banks was downgraded? Well, it's two of the government banks, you know. Republic Bank and First Citizen Bank, government have a lot of shares in both of them. In fact, government own the First Citizen and have majority shareholders in the Republic. Government. So it's coming at them. And rather than try to maintain some level of stability, they interfere with that too. Yeah. Well, they talk about NIB. Well, no, not too long ago they said like NIB go done next week. Tell them more NIB after next a few years, next by 2033. Yeah. Or something like that. 34, 35, something there. Yeah. My friends, Trinidad and Tobago, this thing here, this dragon deal, that there's no dragon deal, my friends. There's no dragon deal. There's no deal. What they have, in our local term, Kamla take a train and went Washington and the Mamagaishi and send she down the road. Yeah, girl, right thing, yeah. You know, they don't even understand what Mamagai is. That would they do with Prime Minister. If Rubio had said, listen, we will be sending a team to speak to Maduro on your behalf. Remember, we're partners. And we had to say, Americans do business all now. The oil companies and all that. Yeah. The same place that are trying to bomb and kill everybody. Yeah. So they could say, listen, we will a press conference. The Dragon deal is very thing to the thing. As much as we are in, that's a separate thing. We will see if we can have a talk or whatever. Not so? Who are the real authority? The people with the bomb and the gun and whatever. Not them? Or is the enemy? The sanction she own. Yeah. To go and talk to a man who she joined with people to kill and to destroy. She joined in with people outside of this region. Listen, my friends, Guyana and Venezuela, you can walk across from one another. Them that we had their own little thing for some piece of land with some minerals in it. They came together and say, we will make sure that nobody raise no arms here. Guyana carried the matter to the Court of Arbitration. She said she want war. America could come here when they're ready to bomb. Then people want to know what she's talking about. What is she inviting? Yeah. But let me tell you something, my friends. Who does want war? Who does really want war? Any country or government with progressive ideas to develop and care for the people does want to invite war close to them, around them, or with them? My friends, it would have been used as an excuse to cover the incompetence and dunceness that is being displayed today, my friends. And it didn't start today. It didn't start today. Yeah. Imagine that. She went on the world stage, my friend. Listen, in America, they imprisoned all Donald Trump partners. He set all of them free. He set people free who he didn't even know. Because all they say, we for the president and they're in jail, you know. He said, oh, he set everybody free. She went on the world stage and tried to take away the fame from Donald Trump, my friends, to the point where she couldn't even mention how much we, I say we, because she represented we too, we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, appreciate President Donald Trump for the action he has taken, because since that, the narco and the drugs, there's been a drop, and nothing like that. Nothing like that. Hear what she say. Let me read it again, my friends. Because it's we, and who is it we? It's she and Donald Trump. Do what? Yeah. So she tied herself with Donald Trump in the bombing of the people on the boat, whether it's innocent or whatever. She didn't care. Yeah. So hear what she said. And nobody must, you see this piece of writing here? Hear what she said. Prasad Bisesa said, criminals do not adhere to ethics and morality. Therefore, we will fight fire with fire within the law. All of America know that that is a lie. They knew that she had an opportunity to fight fire with fire from 2010 to 2015. You feel they don't know? They have an embassy here. They saw when she turned back and refused to bring the OPVs with the helicopter, with the gunship, yeah, and the fast boat with these high power weapons to fight fire with fire. Yeah. $1.5 billion US in artillery to guard and protect us and to fight fire with fire. The drug trade, the drug lord, drug trafficking, human trafficking. And in fact, she did the opposite. She cleared the way for that type of business to grow. So them don't know that. And now you're going on the world stage and saying we, after our president would have carried all our artilleries in the sea and shooting at and thing and the whole world vexed doing it. So again, you're looking for somebody to give him some praise and somebody to talk good about him. You went there, they say, go down by Maduro and tell him you come for the dragon deal. Who he was now trying to kill last week. Yeah. Because something wrong with them Venezuelan head. So we know, my friends, none of them, and you know, for she felt there was no need for CARICOM, and because America is the thing with Trump, Zion Trump riding, that she refused to visit or pay a visit or to a conference where Africans and African countries would have invited us, to see how we could do trade in what area, my friends. Wasn't enough and good enough for she to travel there. No, I moving and riding with Donald Trump is we. Well, Donald Trump now and America want to know who is the we she talking about. And they dismiss her until I go down the road. They could go and ask Maduro for the dragon deal now. But when you're asking him, partner, you hear that? Somebody could send you a message like that? Anybody could do me that? You hear that? Go and tell him that you come for the gas and the oil that belongs to he. He want gas and oil and thing. So you come for it. And you have a piece of paper for him to sign, and he must not benefit from your own thing. But you, who planning with the enemy and join with the enemy to kill him and destroy his people, he's signing with Trinidad and Tobago. Have a nice evening. Keep good. And I want to tell you, thanks for giving me this opportunity to share this part of the evening of the day with you all. Once again, thanks and may God bless. Keep good.
No race has the last word on culture and civilization. They do not know what we are capable of. They do not know what we are thinking. Because my work has only just begun.
Feel it down in your soul till you can't control it. Put your hand up to the sky. Mama, don't ask why. In these dark and lonely times, we gon' turn the tide. If you're looking